So like I want like a good artisan, cool bread that people see and they're like, dang, this guy knows how to make bread, you know? It's like, oh, this guy does this. Like this is Instagram aesthetically pleasing. And so that's what I'm gonna try and do today. But I don't even know enough to like know like the type of bread that I even wanna make. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm on Pinterest, which is like the place where I feel like you would find where good bread is made. So I found this type of bread, you know, which is like that is art bread. So how do I make that? What even is that? Okay, so doing my research, I found that that's just called artisan bread. But I found a recipe online. Okay, we're in the kitchen, we're here to cook. The first thing says in a large bowl, combine with your hands the flours. When it says flours, does that mean that there's different type of flours? And water, how much water? This ingredients isn't very in depth. Again, there was no measurements, so I'm low-key just shooting in the dark. I don't know, I'm just gonna go with what seems right. 5. It's an even number. A little extra just for. And then mixing the water. It says warm water. It feels warm. But from my previous experience with making bread, there was like, you can low-key do whatever you want, you can't mess it up with like flour and water and yeast. It's like any amount of mixture, as long as you mix it together, it'll eventually do its thing. And I'm saying that, and the only experience I have of that is from the Outdoor Boys. So now we're gonna mix it together for 10 minutes. It's a long time. It's a long time. This seems more watery than what it should be. This is why I don't make bread. This is the part of the making of the bread process, which is my least favorite. They were like, you have to mix it with your hands. It's like a big deal in the bread world, is mixing it with your own hands. But this is starting to look like dough. Like, look, I mixed that in there. And so it said to let it sit for 10 minutes. What do I do for 10 minutes with my hands dirty? So you're scrolling through Instagram, right? And you see people and they're like, oh yeah, if you're bored, make bread. The problem with making bread when you're bored is I gotta wait 10 minutes for my living creature back there to start breathing. And so it's like, what do I do with these 10 minutes? I'm gonna scroll Instagram, of course. And that defeats the whole purpose of making bread in the first place. But it's actually kind of nice because then I can be like, oh, I'm productive. I'm so productive. I made bread today. But then really I've just been scrolling Instagram for 5 hours. But I made bread, you know? Maybe that's what all the bread people, that's the trick that they played on us all. All right, so now we need to add some kosher salt. This is 1 tablespoon. This seems like a lot of salt. I'm not doing a tablespoon. I did like a pinch. So now we're gonna add a teaspoon of yeast. You can never have too much yeast, you know? So just fold it in on itself for 5 minutes. What people don't tell you a lot about whenever you're making dough is the amount of kneading time, which I think that's what this is called, is kneading. It's too much. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. This is what it looks like. This is what my bread, this is what my bread is. So now I think we gotta let it sit covered this time, but for another 20 minutes. I don't even know what to do. So like, I thought, same thought before, you do bread to cure your boredom. What it makes you do is have boredom. It's like 30 minutes of work and like 5 hours of waiting. So this is 20 minutes of waiting again. Another 20 minutes of waiting? Like, what do I even do in this time? So you make artisan bread to cure your boredom, but then you need something to cure your boredom from making artisan bread, because it's only like 30 minutes of actual work. So I guess there's another 20 minutes of scrolling. It's insane. But it's like, I could be productive with this extra time, like I could productive thing, but I don't want to do that. That's why I made bread. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. And it now says to knead it for 2 minutes and then cover it again. So it says fold it in over itself. Okay, here's what it looks like. So I kneaded it for 2 minutes and now I'm gonna cover it again, this time for an hour. And so, yeah. So now I gotta set a timer for an hour. An hour, that's so long. So I'm gonna kind of clean up my area a little bit because I don't know. Okay, it's been an hour. So now we gotta knead it again for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna let it sit for 2 hours. This is a long process. This is what it looks like now. And after this 2 hours, it should double in size, according to the internet. I should definitely be doing something productive for these next 2 hours, but like, that's why I'm making bread. Like, I so don't want to be productive. Like, I could go outside and go thrift storing, but will I? Probably not. Could I go do something productive? See, that's the thing, I don't even know what that would be. So I think I'm just going to think about it for another 5 minutes and then get confused and then probably just scroll through Instagram. Okay, I'm starting now. It's been covered for, I kind of got a little impatient. It's only been covered for like an hour and a half instead of 2 hours. And it's probably only doubled in size, not tripled in size. But I'm moving on to the next stage because ain't nobody got all night. And I'm bored. Okay, this is where we really cook. So, get some flour, you know, do a this guy. This is not coming together as it should. Like, it was looking good there for a second, and then it fell off a cliff. Put her mainly back in there. It tells me to put it in this like special artisan clay thing to let it sit with the thing. But I think I'm just gonna put it in a smaller bowl that keeps it in that round shape and then come back later. I'm gonna round it out and then put it in this smaller bowl. Over twice, fold it over 3 times, and then you kind of just want to make it a ball like this. And then I'm gonna set it in here. That's what we're looking like. It's just in the bowl. And so now I'm gonna cover it and let it sit. Bam, that's all clean. So now we're gonna let that bread sit for an hour, and then, and then in the meantime, I'm going to get a Dutch oven. We got ourselves a Dutch oven. At least I think that's what this is. All right, so then we're gonna put the bread in the Dutch oven, but first we gotta preheat the oven to 475, and I gotta put this in the oven. So I'm gonna put this in the oven and start preheating it to 475. Okay, we gotta get the Dutch oven out and grind it without burning my hand off. $475 seems like a really hot temperature. Final result of this. So now I'm just gonna flip this into there. That's what it says. Pivot. This is not good. Okay. So my instructions told me to put this in a floured Benetton. Problem is I didn't have a floured Benetton, so I used this. The problem with this is it stuck to it when it went to go in there. So I'm going to get flour, throw it on here, flip it here, make it in a ball, then put it in the Dutch oven. Because I think that's supposed to be a lot cleaner of a... Okay, so now I'm gonna make this a ball like this. And then I'm just gonna set it in there like this. Okay, so now that that's in here, like so, put this on there, and we'll get it in the oven. Okay, so hopefully that pivot worked. Now I gotta clean up again, but it'll be done in 30 minutes. And hopefully we got some artisan bread. I am We're cooked, chat. We're cooked. Okay, it's ready to come out. That looks fabulous. Look at that. So now how do you get it out? That looks sick. That looks good. Ooh. Now we gotta let it sit for 30 minutes and we can come back and eat it. This bread looks crazy. This is the moment of truth. If it sucks, then it sucks. That looks good. That's good. We successfully made bread. It took 10 hours. Not really, it took 7 hours, but we got bread. I'm a bad cutter of the bread. Baking skills might be 10. Cutting skills might be 0. I don't know. How do you try it? That's good. Put some honey butter on that, some jelly. That's good. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 video.